I fixed my hair for this video. Okay, in this one we are going to learn about assembling the clarinet. We already started with the mouthpiece and the barrel. I know you're excited to play the whole instrument. So we're going to learn how to assemble the entire instrument. So the other parts, we already have the mouthpiece and the barrel and the ligature and the reed, and that's all set. So I'm just going to set that aside. And the next parts that I would like to take out of the case are what we call the upper and lower joints. Let me hold them this way, so maybe I'll back up a little bit. There we go. Notice that one is a little bit smaller and has cork on both sides, and one of them is a little bigger and has cork on one side. Okay, and the easiest way I always find to tell people to put this together is if you look at the holes, there are going to be 6 holes pretty much in a row, although they'll be slightly offset, which you're going to see in a minute. Now what I like to do with my left hand, I like to hold the upper joint and I press down on these keys here with my fingers just to lift up this key right here, which is called the bridge key. Okay, the bridge key, see it going up and down? So if I just push, hold this like so and push that, that raises the bridge key. Then what I do is I take my lower joint and I take the part where there's no cork, because this is going to fit into it, and then I line up the holes. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. I'm going to put them together like this, and see the bridge key is up. I'm going to twist and push it together. Notice that I didn't spin it. And then pretty much I've got my holes lined up. Now one other thing that's kind of, as I said before, it's a little bit off center. The bridge key, let's see if I can get this into the camera. The bridge key needs to line up. There we go. Okay, so this is not lined up exactly. What I'm going to do is just turn this a little bit. Oops, there we go. And then I have the bridge key so that it lines directly over the lower section. Okay, it just goes in a straight line like that. All right. If you don't get that exact, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world as a beginner, but you do want to have that lined up as you go along. And that's the main part of your clarinet. So now, next section we're going to add is called the bell, which looks like this. Okay? And you basically just hold your bottom joint of the clarinet and sort of hold it towards the bottom. Take your bell and just twist it on. All right. Now, sometimes there's a name printed on the front. If you want, you can line it up with the holes if you want. If you really want to do that, but you don't really have to. It can be anywhere along it just spins around. Doesn't make any difference as far as the sound. Then what you're going to do next is take your mouthpiece and barrel and ligature and reed section, and you're going to add it on to the upper joint right here where this cork is. And the thing to know is that the reed is going to line up with the thumb hole in the back. On your clarinet, there's just one thumb hole in the back and a thumb rest. See the little hole up there. Okay, and on the front side, that's where we have most of the holes. So on the back side of the clarinet, we line up the reed with the thumb hole, and I just kind of push that on, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and there's the whole thing. All right, now I'm going to play for you our first note. What you do, this is like a giant recorder also. You take your left thumb and you're going to place your left thumb on this thumb hole right here. That's pretty easy, right? Sort of place it at a bit of an angle, about a 45-degree angle towards the ceiling. You don't want to have it straight up. You don't want to have it straight over, just sort of like at about a 45. Then take your index finger and reach around to the first hole on the front. So this finger and this finger together, thumb and first finger, makes your first note, which is called E. Hopefully I'll get a good sounding note, not a squawk. Okay, so there's your E. If I take my middle and add that on the next key, that's going to give me a D. So I've got the thumb, index finger on the first hole, middle on the second hole. Notice that I'm not pressing this key here because it's automatically attached to where my middle finger is pressing. This is what a D sounds like. And then the third note is C. You just add this finger right on that hole. Notice there's no metal ring. Do you see how there's a metal ring here and a metal ring here? It's just an open hole. Okay? So thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger gives you the note C. So there's your assembly and first 3 notes on the clarinet. Hope you find that helpful.